Hi everyone, so today I'm back with another product review.
And if you saw my last video, I did a first impressions on the Revlon Colorstay 2-in-1 foundation, the compact, and if you want to check that out, you can, because
today I'll be reviewing the L'Oreal True Match Genius Foundation, which is a pretty similar concept if you guys are aware of the drugstore market at the moment. I picked both up at Watson's and I think both are available at Guardian as well. So if you do choose to head over and you sort of see these two products and you're like, you know, which one is better for my skin or which one is more beneficial in terms of an all-rounder color match, consistency, longevity, all that kind of thing, you can compare my two videos and my two blog posts and you can just decide before your next trip to the drugstore. I'm just going to open this up and talk a little about it. So the color I got for this is N1 Nude Ivory. There are limited shades in Singapore. I'm not sure if there is more, but I've got, just opening it, 4 shades in Singapore to be exact. So it doesn't really suit people of really deep dark complexion, which is a downside. I think every drugstore brand should really cater to all skin tones. Just because Singapore is a multiracial society and there are Indian people also that have deep, beautiful skin tones that would appreciate these kind of products. Okay, so it looks like that. It has the pan of foundation and the sponge. So, I might not use this, but I would think that this will apply the same as a flat brush just because of the density and the way you sort of swipe it on. So I'm just going to be using a flat brush on this side and a beauty blender on the other side, a damp beauty blender. So yes, I've already put on my skin prep and I'll bring you in closer just to see the differences. On this side I have quite a bit of acne scarring, on both sides actually, but just in general you can see how it covers up if you want to find a foundation that's substantial in coverage. So as I'm swiping it in the pan, not sure if you can tell, but it's slightly, the surface is oxidized but inside the color is lighter than what it looks like, just like the Revlon Colorstay, but this one doesn't differ as drastically. So try not to make your judgment based on the color on top. Try to actually swatch it on your hand. So I took a few swipes, and as I'm applying on this side, I'm just going to put a bit of the product claims, and after I apply it I'll just talk a little bit about it. So as you can tell with the foundation flat brush I use, I've been using quite a bit of product, and this is just like the first layer I feel, so it's kind of time intensive to keep using so much product and it not really going a long way. Okay, so basically how I feel about the foundation right off the bat, it doesn't really match my complexion, and the next one above it is a little too orangey for me. So yeah, but it doesn't differ too much. It matches my inner wrist well, but not, my general tan complexion. But yeah, with the first layer it neutralized certain areas that I wanted to color, basically my dark spots, and that's all I really can ask for my acne situation. For pimples that are of raised surfaces, you can't really cover that. When I did apply it I saw streaks, and as I kept sort of blending it out and sort of moving it around the face, the streaks still appeared until I started sort of tapping, and as I recall for the previous product review, that didn't really happen. So I'm not sure if it's the way I'm applying it or something's wrong with my skin, but I think it's the product. The product may be a little more drying than the Revlon one, so that it clings on and it stays together. It doesn't really spread out on the skin very well. So yeah, I'm just gonna apply it with the beauty blender and see how that works. But basically how I feel it on the skin, it doesn't give me as matte a feel or as semi-matte a feel as the Revlon Colorstay, but this one itself has a very dewy tacky finish. So I'm just gonna apply the other side with the sponge. Yep, so as usual, it's spreading out a lot easier and gives a more, hydrated finish to the face. Yep, so on this side I just took 2 swipes and that covered my whole face. This side I was like swiping like a maniac. But yeah, it gives me the same finish, and perhaps on this side it's lighter, it's more lightweight. This side I can sort of feel the product on my skin for some reason. Yep, and you can see the dark spots are neutralized, and this is just a single layer, so I'm just going to see if the product can build up. So the product does build up slightly, but I have certain dark spots that need concealer. And I'm not sure if you guys know, but the Revlon Colorstay is a 2-in-1, which has the foundation and the concealer, whereas this just has the foundation. And I guess that's sort of good so that you can use your own, but it's also good to have an option on the go. So if you're making a comparison between the two and you want more for the money you spend, then maybe get the Revlon one, even though it's slightly more expensive and this one's slightly cheaper. But I looked a bit washed out, but I'm just gonna finish my makeup and I'll get back to you. So this is how everything looks together. I just set my under eye and put a bit of concealer. I used the Wake Me Up concealer by Rimmel under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, and just this part. Just set my under eyes with powder. The rest of it I just left to see how the foundation works. But anyways, yeah, still looking a little washed out, but I guess that's fine. It's just for the sake of testing it out today. Remember to give this a thumbs up. Final thoughts about my first impressions about this product for the start of the day. I basically am a little put off by the lack of colour in the colour range, but other than that, I think this gives me less of a tacky feel now for some reason. I think it doesn't, once it's set, it's not as dewy. So as compared to the Revlon Colorstay 2-in-1, that was, no, I wouldn't say tacky, but it was just a little more, it looked like there's moisture in my skin, and it didn't even look like grease, it just looked a bit wet. I guess I'm not really describing it very well, but yeah, this you can't really see any shine. It really reflects a sense of satin feel. This is me in the morning, and I'll put the time here and I'll check back in with you at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm back from work and yet again it's 7, so this is how the foundation looks like. I'll bring you in closer. Yep, so it looks like this. So as you can tell, it's still on and it's still sort of there. If you can see around my nose, the foundation has worn off. My lip, my upper lip, not so much. Around my nose, the openings all wore off. Also under my eye, because I set it with powder, but I use a different concealer, that also stayed. Compared to the Colorstay, that concealer totally wore off, but I didn't set that with powder, so that was the differentiating factor. Yeah, but I like it, but the only thing I hate is the lack of colours. Revlon Colorstay in Singapore drugstores had about, I would want to say 5 to 6 colours, but this only had 4.
And 2 were in the light zone and the other one in the warm zone. So I think I mentioned in the beginning that the neutral was either Nude Ivory, the light zone was Nude Ivory and Nude something else, but I got the something else. What am I talking about?
So what I was trying to say is that it came in nude and warm, those 2 sections, and in the nude section there was Nude Vanilla and Nude Ivory, if I'm not mistaken, and I got Nude Ivory, which is a more yellow toned light colour, and in the warm zone it was, those other 2 colours, and essentially this is too light for me. Evidently this is my natural skin tone, which is a little more tan and not so fair, but I tried to put a little bit of bronzer, but I don't think that helped. But anyways, I got compliments about how I look today, so I guess that's a good thing. But I think it's mostly because of my eyeshadow, and yeah. I mean, if I finished all my foundation and I just stopped doing this and I didn't care for beauty anymore, I would definitely just purchase anything from L'Oreal. Having said that, when it comes to this, I might actually pick the Revlon Colorstay one over this. So just seeing that that has a dual function, and also the color match is really important. I don't think people realize how important it is to match your foundation, just cause I guess it's an Asian thing where you like to look lighter than you actually are, but I don't think it's a really good look to rock cause it's not you, and you should really try your best to find a foundation that matches you accurately, essentially. I just want to give a rating for this product, and I guess I would give it about a 5 or 4 out of 10, more likely a 4 just because of the color range. And the longevity, I guess it stayed, but it's not exactly, I feel like it's gonna slip off. Like if I do this, yeah, like I know it comes off, but usually I don't have that problem. Like just touching my face, I don't feel as uncomfortable, but for this I was just really cautious the whole day. Don't rub your face because like you get exposed skin and that kind of thing. Yeah, a 4 out of 10. But if you're deciding between this or the Revlon Colorstay, get the Revlon Colorstay in my opinion. So with that, I'll just see you in the next one, guys. Bye!